Let's talk about Gervonta Davis. Obviously, huge fight recently with Lamont Roach, where he went into that fight being a heavy favorite.
Right.
Lamont was very confident, though, a little, more confident than most people that fight Tank. What, in your opinion, was the difference in that fight? Some people felt Lamont won. Some people were happy with the draw. We all know about the controversial knee knockdown that wasn't called.
Yeah.
Give me your assessment of the fight.
Watching the fight, Tank did what he usually does, give away the rounds. And Lamont always had an answer for everything Tank had. Anytime Tank even had even a little sense of trying to pick it up, Roach always came back. Mm-hmm. And I felt like he boxed perfect. To me, I felt like, man, I was shocked. Like, this dude is sharp. Yes. But also, I felt that because Tank had 1 foot inside of boxing and 1 foot out, he couldn't take it to the gears that he usually takes it to. When he starts picking it up crazy.
But to my understanding, he threw more punches than he's ever thrown in a fight, right?
Still threw a lot less than Roach, so I don't know.
For me, but he didn't have that aggression that he usually has. So.
But can we credit Roach for that?
No, yeah, of course. But for me, this is what I'm saying from Tank's I can see from the outside. It didn't look like he had that aggression. But it's a credit, Lamont, he fought perfect to me. I feel like he has Tank's number in a way. You can see in the fight that he just timed him on things that he knows he's going to do. Right. And I thought Lamont won. Okay. From what I've seen in the fight, I thought Lamont won. And I think the commission does need to do something with that knee. Because if they don't, then all of us are going to think we could take a knee anytime we want. They got to do something about it. Right. I mean, they did something about me. You got to do something about other people. Rules are rules, right?
Right.
It's I like Tank though personally, but a rule is a rule. You can't go and take a knee and then just expect not to be knocked down. You can't get away with stuff like that.
When you say 1 foot in boxing and 1 foot out, what is it like? Such a small boxing world that you know what he's really doing?
No, but I mean, from what he said, obviously, I want to retire. Right. His demeanor, it's like he don't really want to box no more. Telling people don't box, kids you shouldn't box, So it's kind of like he don't really love it no more,
I see what you're
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that will mess you up because in a fight, you got to be all the way in. Because when problems, rise in the ring, even if it's a little problem, you got to be ready to snap it in the butt.
Do you think that might light a fire under him? And how does the rematch play out if they do fight again? Sometimes not a loss, but something like this, a blemish, might get you back.
It can. It's all up to Tank. It's all about what, how he feels internally. I think, for him, it's a lot due up here too, like all of us. But I think that's what you're going to get from Roach. That's what you're going to get at Roach every time, I think. I think it's up to Tank to see, what type of, how far he could go up.
How does the potential Tank fight happen again when you're at 47, 147 pounds at this weight? You're obviously a big guy. Do you make 140 again? Because I don't think Tank goes up to 147.
I don't make 140 again.
You can't?
No, I can't, man. Even being near these guys, like Rollies, he just seems smaller than me. Right. Even Teofimo, I'm next to him, I'm like, they just seem smaller than me. They used to feel bigger to me. Yeah. They used to feel like, damn, they're like pretty big. But now I'm like, damn, this dude, like I'm gonna have my way in there.
So that fight might never happen. You might never be able to get your lick back with Tank.
Tank knows that we made good money, and he knows that's where the big money's at. So
is that the most important fight to you?
Yeah.
Avenging that loss?
Yeah, because I felt like that wasn't even close to what I could do at all.
A lot of people say that because of you having to fight at 135 and having a rehydration clause, and after seeing how you performed against Devin, a lot of people think the fight would have been different at 140. What about that fight would have been different outside of you feeling stronger?
Well, when you're not dehydrated in the way you are, you're better, with thinking. You're better with strength. You're better with reflexes. You're better with everything. And mind you, I did have a broken rib. He knew it. He did. He did know it. He did have a mole in my.
Did you find out who that was?
Nah. But I ended up firing everybody, so it didn't really matter.
New team.
I couldn't. That's something I'm not gonna live with. But you can't find. You got to call pest control. Get rid of everybody.
So this fighter that posted this years ago, or whenever that fight was last year, rather, that said, "I'm sorry, Ryan, I bruised your rib, and that's why you lost the Tank."
Yeah.
Was it him?
He didn't bruise my rib. He broke my rib. But That's when I was, obviously cutting weight as well. And he didn't break my rib like he was beating my ass. It was like the start of the round. And I went like this, and they chipped it, and I was like, wait, hold up, like
Something wrong,
something
something
wrong.
wrong.
Like I'm not. I
How
can't.
long ago? I mean, how long before the fight did that happen?
That was like right before the fight, and I was like,
like
fuck.
weeks, 2 weeks.
Probably like 2 weeks.
Wow.
And the doctor was like, you probably shouldn't do this, and I'm like,
Too much
I'm
money
already
on the
here,
line.
bro. I'm already here. Like I'm just gonna run it. And it was hard because I was like literally running. I was to lose weight still like this, holding my rib like the 2 days, 3 days after, because I had to still cut weight. But that's the choice I made. There's nothing I could do, but I know I could do way better than that, and I know I could beat him.